YouTube? This is Under to the Max here, coming at you with some breaking news. Alabama and Ohio State have agreed to play a home-and-home series in 2027 and 2028. How amazing is that? Two of the biggest powerhouses in college football today are going to be playing each other, not at neutral site games like Jerry's World or Mercedes-Benz Stadium in Atlanta, Georgia. No, they're going to be playing each other at Bryant-Denny Stadium in Tuscaloosa, Alabama, and at the Horseshoe, also known as Ohio Stadium, in Columbus. How incredible is that going to be? I have been asking for this for years. I would love to see the SEC and the Big Ten play against each other. Again, in home-and-home sets, not neutral site games. Like, I would love to see Michigan play Florida at the Swamp, and then the next year have Florida play at Michigan in the Big House. Or you have Wisconsin play Texas A&M, for example. Like, you have them play at Kyle Field in College Station, and then the next year they play each other in Camp Randall Stadium in Madison, Wisconsin. Or, personally, I think this would be one of my favorites. You have Penn State play LSU. Like, one year, you have the two, Penn State go down to Baton Rouge to play LSU at Tiger Stadium, a.k.a. Death Valley, which I would debate you on whether or not Tiger Stadium is Death Valley. But anyway, and then the next season, why not have LSU travel to Penn State to play the Nittany Lions at Beaver Stadium? You realize how much hype would be behind those games? Come on! I mean, think about this. Okay, I know when Texas A&M played at Clemson, Clemson absolutely smashed them. But do you remember the year before that when Clemson was at Texas A&M? That game was fantastic, and it took Trevor Lawrence heroics to save Clemson from losing that game. Think about this season, LSU at Texas. It was a great game, and it was a top 10 showdown at the time. And it helped set up this magical carpet ride of a season that LSU went on. You know, they won at Texas. They beat Auburn at LSU. They went on the road and defeated their nemesis, the Crimson Tide, in Alabama. They beat Florida, unfortunately, because I'm a huge Florida Gators fan. Let's see. Who else did? Oh yeah, they crushed Georgia in the SEC championship. They dismantled Oklahoma in the college football playoff. But I don't think that signals that Oklahoma wasn't one of the four best teams. It was just a bad matchup for them against LSU. And then after being a little bit confused by Clemson's defense, LSU was like, oh, now we understand how to beat this, and Joe Burrow went to work. And, of course, he became the number one overall pick in the NFL draft by the Cincinnati Bengals, which to me means the AFC North will be the most interesting division in at least the AFC. Maybe not all of football. So I'm changing my statement a little bit. Because in the past, I've said that the AFC North will be the most interesting division in all of football. I'm actually going to rescind that statement, and I'm going to say the NFC South is going to be the most interesting division in all of football. Think about it. You have Tom Brady is now a Tampa Bay Buccaneer. That's still really weird to say. You have Drew Brees and the New Orleans Saints, who feel like they've been screwed out of the playoffs the last 3 years. Most notably of those would be, the pass interference that wasn't, for some reason. I think the refs were blind or something. There's also a conspiracy theory that the refs were from Southern California, so they favored the Rams. I don't know if it's true or not. But you have the Falcons, who, Tom Brady led the greatest comeback in the history of the NFL, 28-3. But I blame that on Kyle Shanahan squarely. Matt Ryan, that wasn't your fault. Matt Ryan is in that division, and he's got good weapons. Julio Jones and who's the other guy? Calvin Ridley. There we go. You got Carolina. They just hired Matt Rule from Baylor, and they went defense heavy in the draft, most notably selecting Derrick Brown 7th overall out of Auburn. And then you have, that's all the teams. So I will say the AFC North is the most interesting division in the AFC. And like I've said, my reasoning for that is, with Cincinnati, you have a second-year head coach with a rookie quarterback. So how is that pairing going to be? In Cleveland, you have a rookie head coach, Kevin Stefanski, although he's been an assistant with the Minnesota Vikings for years, with a third-year quarterback in Baker Mayfield, which quarterback are you, Baker? Are you the quarterback that burst onto the scene in 2018 due to Tyrod Taylor getting injured on that Thursday night football game against the New York Jets? Or are you the quarterback who we saw last season that struggled and held the ball forever and seemed to be afraid at times? And then in Pittsburgh, you have a veteran head coach in Mike Tomlin, with a quarterback in Ben Roethlisberger, who is for sure a Hall of Famer. I would say first ballot. But he's coming off of elbow surgery, and the Steelers' backup quarterbacks, that whole situation is kind of shaky, because Mason Rudolph didn't really play great last season. And Duck Hodges, he played well, but can he sustain that? And then in Baltimore, you have a veteran head coach in John Harbaugh, paired with the guy who won MVP last season, Lamar Jackson. And I believe he is going to be on the cover of Madden 21. Now, he said something interesting the other day, and I'll finish this video off with this. I believe Lamar Jackson came out the other day and said that the Ravens underestimated the Titans. Okay, you can think that and keep that in the back of your mind, but I'm not sure that's something you want to publicly say. It makes you sound a little bit weak, if you will. I don't know. But how can you underestimate the Tennessee Titans? Like, the last 4 weeks of the season, they were pretty much playing for their playoff lives. I mean, in week 17, they had to win in Houston to even get in the playoffs as a wild card team. And obviously they did. And then what happens? In the wild card round, they go to New England and pretty much chase Tom Brady out of town. Because think about this. Tom Brady's last pass as a New England Patriot was a pick 6 to Logan Ryan. Realize that. Tom Brady's last pass as a New England Patriot was a pick 6 by Logan Ryan. How crazy is that? And then the Titans having just come off beating arguably the GOAT. I would argue Drew Brees is the GOAT, not Tom Brady. But that's a different discussion for a different day. The Titans roll into your house. You're the number 1 seed. And you underestimate them? What? Why? Why? that was wrong. And then the Titans roll over you. I mean, I should say it wasn't the Tennessee Titans. It was the Tennessee Derrick Henrys. Because he was pretty much the offense for the Titans that day. One of their touchdowns was even a jump pass from Derrick Henry. And then in the AFC Championship, at least in the first half, Tennessee gave Kansas City a fight. Now, here's my question with the Titans. You had all this success last season. I mean, week 1, they rolled into Cleveland and smashed the Browns 43-13. And the Browns had all this hype going into last season because, they hired Freddie Kitchens as their head coach after his success as the interim offensive coordinator. Baker Mayfield looked good coming off of his 2018 season. They brought in Odell Beckham Jr. Let's see. Denzel Ward had played well the previous season. And they made other various moves. Olivier Vernon was brought in. So the Browns had made all these moves, and the Tennessee Titans were like, yeah, we don't care. We're going to put up 43 points on you. We don't care. So the Browns will be looking for a bit of revenge when the two teams play each other in Week 13 in Nashville. I think that game could potentially get flexed into Sunday Night Football if both teams are fighting for playoff spots. Whether that's for the top position in their respective divisions, the AFC South and the AFC North, or they might be fighting each other for playoff positioning in wild card. You don't know. So that's going to do it for this quick video vlog. Hope you enjoyed it. Until next time, this is Unger to the Max, signing off.